So, I was browsing through articles on Equestria Daily, as that's where I typically get most of the MLP related news these days, and during the 2017 Toy Fair, they showed off a bunch of characters and designs for the upcoming My Little Pony movie. I don't typically focus on MLP merchandise, but in this case, there are a few things I'd like to talk about. Just be aware that there are potential spoilers ahead for anyone who would prefer to avoid them. For everyone else, let's have a look-see, shall we? First up, yes, the main six will be visiting sea ponies, and yes, they will in fact become sea ponies for this film. Which, again, I expect them to drop at least one shooby-doo during the transition. Sounds like something Pinky would say, right? I am a little disappointed with Spike's design here, though. Seems like every time he goes off into another world, he has to lose some of his ability to interact with the world around him. Like becoming much more of a pet in the Equestria Girls universe, and now they've removed both his hands and feet. I'm betting the writers will still give him a few funny lines, but I'm still a little disappointed with the design here. Next up, there's quite a few figurines in the Guardians of Harmony lineup. Now, I may not be a collector of figurines myself, but I can appreciate that Hasbro is adding even more variety to their MLP toys, appealing to a wider demographic. And who knows, maybe this movie really is going to feature more action scenes than what we typically see in the series. I did want to point out, though, that this Storm King I commented on in an earlier video is not exactly like T-Rex. He doesn't have the ponified lower half, though I still suspect he's going to be just as menacing. With that in mind, though, does that mean T-Rex is actually part pony? I mean, compared to this Storm King, it certainly seems possible. Fanfic writers, get on that. However, the one figurine which I found to be the most interesting was actually Stratus Sky Ranger. Notice anything unusual? Here, let me zoom in a bit. He's a hippogriff guard. The MLP staff have come up with an official hippogriff character in the My Little Pony universe. Now, this raises a few questions. First off, is this going to be a cross between a pony and a griffin? Or could this be a race all its own in the world of Equestria? Second, can I just say how great it is that Silver Quill came up with a hippogriff character years ago and now it's actually part of the show's canon? Third, what sort of role would a hippogriff play in this upcoming film? It's quite obvious that this Storm King is going to wreak havoc amongst the lands of Equestria, and that's what drives the main six towards finding allies in other lands, and in this case, even under the waves. But are we going to see an entire race of hippogriffs, or just this one character? Lots of interesting possibilities here, I must admit. But we've still got to wait several months for this movie to come out, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more tidbits of information coming out in the interim. And for those of you who'd like to see more of these images from the Toy Fair, I'll post a direct link to the Equestria Daily articles down in the description below. Until next time, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.